back at it again, and I have two videos that I'm going to be stringing together in this one. Let's dive in.
Speaker Pelosi tells us she's on a crusade for the children. Someone should maybe remind the Speaker the crusades did not always end well when they were reflexively driven by emotion and riddled with poor planning. No, this is no crusade for the children. If it were, you wouldn't leave our children as sitting ducks in gun-free zones when they go to school every day. Speaker says we need action. Well, we're for action. How about the action of...
I got a question, a serious question. What is the argument against, some faculty or staff having weapons at a school? I saw one that said, so when a teacher has a bad day, they have a weapon and the weapon's already in the school, so they can just start going crazy. And I'm like, no, I don't think that's how that works. I mean, of course you run that risk, sure, but I feel like the likelihood of that is like this. A teacher having a bad day and saying, you know what, I already have a weapon here, so I'm just going to go crazy with it. No, I don't think so. But, I mean, I have to acknowledge, yes, it is a possibility, but if that's your argument, I feel like that's a pretty weak argument, especially knowing that there are other teachers who conceal carry that have weapons too. So as soon as they hear shots going off, they're coming running to your classroom or wherever you are at and putting one in you. Like, you're not getting away, right? Y'all let me know in the comment section.
My bill to create a national stand your ground law to strengthen self-defense, or Richard Hudson's bill for national concealed carry, or any number.
Hold on, run it back.
How about Speaker says we need action? Well, we're for action. How about the action of my bill to create a national stand your ground law to strengthen self-defense, or Richard Hudson's bill for national concealed carry, or any number of proposals Republicans have offered to unlock the safe and secure environment when we have our military veterans and our former members of law enforcement able to carry a firearm responsibly in schools to be able to respond to these acts of violence.
I've seen people talk about that too. Veterans. I mean, this is what they've been trained to do. Is to take out targets. This is what they do, and they get the best training in the world. This is what they do. So I mean, who better possibly than them? I mean, they aren't backing down. I'll tell you that. So that's always a great option too.
No, their version of action is more gun control, raising the age to be able to buy certain firearms. Well, on November 25th, 2021, a crazed lunatic with a knife broke into a home in El Paso and began assaulting a woman inside. The 20-year-old homeowner grabbed his rifle and killed the assailant. That's action. In 2017, in Sutherland Springs, Texas, a gunman opened fire inside the First Baptist Church. A Good Samaritan grabbed his AR-15 and engaged the shooter, stopping him from further carnage. A good use for an AR-15. In 2019, in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, a 19-year-old killed 3 would-be burglars who broke into his home. These situations happen every day, and there would be more death and more bloodshed if we were to accept these proposals from the Democrats. But the Second Amendment isn't about hunting, or it's about...
He just said something there that I want to address. I'm going to run it back just a little bit. But, yeah, he's got a great point. I want to say I read a statistic that most AR-15... owners or style gun that style of weapon owners are former servicemen and women. I don't know if that statistic is correct, but you guys can let me know in the comment section. So my point is, a majority of AR-15 style owners, AKs, all that good stuff, they're responsible, they're law-abiding, they're the good folks. But because you have a few bad apples, you just cut down and throw away the whole tree. Because a few bad apples, rot away. No, get rid of the whole tree. But I'm like, the rest of these apples are actually really good. You're throwing away the baby with the bathwater. I'm just like, what? Where's the good intention in this? There isn't. There just isn't. I've sat and I've genuinely tried to understand where the good intention in this is, and it's not there. Because, and I say that because they're not willing to even try these other measures that don't include taking away your Second Amendment right. We saw the the head of education, Biden's head of education, scoff at the idea that a couple teachers would conceal carry. What are we gonna? And his answer was just like idiotic. What are we gonna do? Give a weapon to the substitute? It's a rhetorical question. You know the answer to that. And that is one of the reasons why I know there's no good intention in this. There's none. It's all about control. That is it.
These situations happen every day, and there would be more death and more bloodshed if we were to accept these proposals from the Democrats. But the Second Amendment isn't about hunting or about self-defense. It is about power. It is about the power that is reserved in the citizenry to curate a balance so that Americans are not overrun by tyranny. And thank God we haven't had to use the Second Amendment for the purpose that some might have envisioned necessary when our founders were creating the Constitution. And that power belongs to the people, not to the Democrats trying to take their rights away and to make their schools less.
Gentlelady from Georgia is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you. Well, we don't agree on much these days here in Congress, but I know there's one thing we all agree on. We all agree that we really like guns. See, we're the special privileged elites. We're the ones in this chamber being protected by guns, while the American people don't have men and women with guns outside their homes. Of course, not at any gun-free school zone, they're not protected, nor at work. But here Congress, the same Congress that's voting to send just millions and millions of dollars worth of guns to Ukraine so that they can defend themselves, is the same Congress working as hard as possible to take away the Second Amendment rights from Americans.
That is a great point. One that I hadn't even thought of. We're sending millions of dollars worth of weapons to Ukraine to defend themselves. But the same people that are voting for that, to do that, and that have done that, are trying to take ours away to defend ourselves. So we care more about other countries. These people in power care more about other countries than they do their own citizens. And once again, they never did. It's about control. You saw what our neighbors to the north just did. If you don't know, Trudeau took away their weapons and told them that they have no right to defend themselves with a weapon. No right. They can hunt with a 5 or whatever round clip that they're allowed to use, and that is it. If somebody breaks into their house, they are not allowed to shoot them. That is just absolutely, positively ridiculous. Ridiculous. And that's what they want for us.
Working as hard as possible to take away the Second Amendment rights from Americans. You see, our job here is to protect rights like due process and the Second Amendment rights of Americans, not strip them away. Red flag gun laws violate Americans' due process rights, and this is the type of thing that we shouldn't be passing in this Congress, especially while we enjoy the very privileged elite special protection of guns.
So they have guns to protect them, and we have nothing. They understand the importance of having weapons for protection, but yet they want to take them from us. All because of just a few people that go a little rogue. Is it unfortunate? Absolutely. You never want to see the loss of life, especially children, and that is why we need to make sure when our children go to school, they are safe. There are quite a few measures that we can take to ensure that happens. But no, of course not. That's the stupidest idea you've ever heard, according to Biden's education secretary or head of education, whatever his title is. I don't know at this point. I don't really care, to be honest. It's the stupidest idea ever proposed. What are we going to do? Hand these weapons to substitute teachers? Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I'm happy to see that a lot of America are opening their eyes to see through the BS. It's all smoke and mirrors. That's all. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They care about taking our weapons away to control us. It's one more step in their grand scheme. And that is not a conspiracy theory. That has been proven. Check out the WEF conference. Check it out. Go watch it for yourself. You'll see what I'm talking about. But anyway, y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. A lot of you guys are not subscribed yet, and you watch this channel all the time. Click that button up there to subscribe. Peace and love. I'm out.